Hey, Michael. Thank you for coming out. We're at the panel, an electrical panel. So earlier we did the outside, and now we're going inside a little deeper.
Yes.
So what do you typically check for when you
Sure.
look inside?
Well, first and foremost, you want to use a voltage sniffer before you even touch this box
Really?
to make sure that the box is dead.
Okay.
There's a possibility there's a live wire that's loose in there touching the edge of the box. You touch the box, you get a pop, and you don't want that.
No.
So I'll preface this entire conversation by saying I've been properly trained to do this. I don't recommend homeowners or lay people do these things. We're just here for illustrative purposes to show people what we look for.
Very good.
So I verified that the box is not hot. We open up the panel to access everything inside. And we want to start with the service entrance conductors to make sure that they are the proper size for the amperage for the main shutoff. This is 2-gauge copper wire. I'm sorry, this is 6-gauge copper wire, and we have 200 amp service. That is adequate wiring for that circuitry. We're going to check all the breakers to make sure there's no signs of arcing or overheating, any signs of discoloration on the wires that could indicate overheating or things like that. We're going to check the wire sizes to make sure that each circuit has the proper size wire, that there's not a small wire on a big breaker. You know, that's something that can overheat a wire and cause a fire perhaps. We want to make sure that any wires that pass through the side of this cabinet go through a wire bushing, or there's a wire nut installed that will prevent that wire from rubbing against the sharp edge of the metal cabinet and maybe compromise that insulation, and so forth and so on. This is the main panel, and so we have commingling of the neutrals and the grounds. That's perfectly acceptable. On a sub panel, we would want those to be isolated.
Sure.
We do have a bonding bar connecting these two ground/neutral bus bars. On a sub panel, we would not want to see that. So there's a number of things we're looking at, and again, this is all stuff that's going to prevent fires,
Sure.
prevent electrocution, and just make your home operate safely.
I got it. So, I mean, you would say that this is a more modern type panel. You come across some older type things as well.
Sure. We see older panels, and that's fine as long as they're labeled correctly and installed and wired correctly. We have the proper breakers for that panel.
Okay.
You don't want to have some panels are very sensitive, that they're not compatible with other brands of breakers and things like that, and so we check for all of these things. We can see here that everything is in compliance and looking good.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so definitely safety first, right?
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
You know, we don't recommend anybody that is not trained to go into these boxes, of course, and call a professional. So that's why you're here today, educating me on what you look for when you inspect. So
That's
thank
right.
you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Shannon.
All right, thank you.